The park ranger found their tent at dawn, still zipped from the inside. 5 sleeping bags, 5 phones charging, 5 sets of car keys. But the tent's back wall had been cut open with surgical precision, a perfect rectangle, like someone had installed a door that shouldn't exist. The girls' last Instagram post showed them laughing around the campfire at midnight. By 12:47 a.m., according to their fitness trackers, all 5 hearts had stopped beating at the exact same second. March 15, 2008. Location: Blackwater Canyon Campground, West Virginia. They were college juniors from Georgetown University, driving 4 hours for a camping trip over spring break. Jessica Chen, 21, pre-med student with a perfect GPA, the planner who'd booked the campsite months in advance. Ashley Rodriguez, 20, sociology major and student body vice president, documenting everything for her YouTube channel. Megan Foster, 21, computer science genius who'd already had 3 job offers from Silicon Valley. Nicole Williams, 20, art history major whose parents owned half of Martha's Vineyard. And Samantha Sam Davis, 20, the athlete on a full swimming scholarship, training for Olympic trials. They'd arrived at 6 p.m. Friday evening, set up their tent at Site 47, the most remote spot in the campground. Ashley's YouTube footage showed them laughing, struggling with tent poles, Sam accidentally hitting Jessica with a sleeping bag. Normal college girls on a normal camping trip. The last clip, uploaded at 11:58 p.m., showed them roasting marshmallows, Nicole telling a ghost story about campers who disappeared. They had no idea they were about to become one. At 12:15 a.m., the campground's motion sensors detected movement near Site 47. Not unusual. Could be campers, could be wildlife. But the pattern was wrong. The sensors triggered in sequence, like something circling the tent, stopping at precise intervals, 7 complete circles over 32 minutes. Then nothing. At 12:47 a.m., something extraordinary was recorded by their fitness trackers. All 5 devices, synced to different phones, registered the same thing, heart rate spiking to 200 BPM, then flatlining. Not gradually, not one after another. All 5 hearts stopped at the exact same millisecond. The devices continued recording for 4 more hours, showing no movement, no pulse, nothing. But here's where the data becomes impossible. At 4:47 a.m., exactly 4 hours later, all 5 fitness trackers started recording heartbeats again. Normal, healthy rhythms, as if nothing had happened. For 17 minutes, they recorded the girls being alive. Then the devices were manually turned off, all at the same time. Park Ranger Bill Morrison found the tent at 6:30 a.m. during his morning rounds. The front zipper was still sealed from the inside. But the back wall had been cut, not torn, not ripped, but cut with something so sharp it left no frayed edges. A perfect rectangle, 3 feet by 6 feet, like a door. Inside, everything was arranged with obsessive precision, sleeping bags zipped and aligned, phones plugged into a portable charger, all at 100% battery. Car keys hung from the tent ceiling in a perfect line, but the girls were gone. The search started immediately. Local police, state troopers, FBI by day 2. They found Ashley's camera in the woods, 200 yards from the tent. The memory card was missing, but the internal buffer still held one image. A timestamp showed 12:46 a.m. The photo was completely black except for 5 pairs of eyes reflecting the flash, arranged in a circle, looking up at something above the camera frame. Here's the first major break in the case that changed everything. 3 miles from the campsite, investigators found a bunker, not on any map, not in any county record. Built in the 1960s, abandoned for decades, except someone had been maintaining it. Fresh air filtration, working electricity from solar panels hidden in the trees, and 5 medical gurneys with leather straps, still warm from body heat. On the wall, written in what looked like blood but tested as red paint, the first 5 were practice. These 5 are perfect. The next 5 will be the proof. The FBI database matched the bunker's layout to classified Cold War documents. It was part of Project MK Ultra's successor, a program that officially never existed, designed to test psychological limits through isolation and sensory manipulation. The bunker had been used for experiments until 1973, then supposedly destroyed. But here it was, renovated and operational. Agent Patricia Wells, leading the investigation, found something in the bunker's old files that made her call Washington immediately. 5 other women had gone missing from this exact campsite. Their bodies were never found, but their fitness watches, early heart rate monitors used by athletes, had recorded the same impossible pattern: simultaneous heart stoppage at 12:47 a.m., restart at 4:47 a.m. But those women had reappeared 3 years later, walking into a police station in Oregon, with no memory of the missing years. They all told the same story. They'd been camping, gone to sleep, woken up in Oregon. Medical tests showed evidence of long-term IV use, surgical scars they didn't remember getting, and unusual brain activity in regions associated with memory suppression. All 5 had gone on to live normal lives, except for one detail: they all worked in fields they'd never studied. The pre-law student became a neurosurgeon, the artist became a chemical engineer, the English major became a quantum physicist, as if someone had downloaded new knowledge into their brains. Here's the second revelation that nobody saw coming. The Instagram post at midnight wasn't their last activity. Ashley's YouTube account had uploaded a video at 3:47 a.m., 3 hours after the girls' hearts had stopped. The video was 47 minutes long, showed all 5 girls sitting in the bunker, eyes open but vacant, while a woman's voice off-camera asked them questions in a language no linguist could identify. The girls responded in the same language, fluently, even though none of them had studied anything beyond Spanish and French. The video's metadata was impossible. It was filmed on Ashley's camera, but the GPS showed it was recorded simultaneously in 5 different locations across the continental U.S. The timestamp jumped randomly, 3:47 a.m., then 1:15 a.m., then 9:33 p.m. from 3 days in the future, as if time itself had been scrambled during recording. April 2008 to December. The search continues. The families hired private investigators. Jessica's parents, both doctors, spent their savings on experts who found nothing. Ashley's single mother appeared on every news show that would have her. Megan's tech industry contacts used satellite imagery, data mining, every digital tool available. Nicole's wealthy family posted a $10 million reward. Sam's Olympic dreams died as her coaches moved on to other swimmers. Georgetown University held memorials. The FBI kept the case active but had no leads. The bunker was monitored 24/7, but no one ever returned to it. The campsite was closed, then reopened, then closed again after other campers reported strange experiences, electronics malfunctioning, time seeming to skip, and always at 12:47 a.m. Here's the third twist that changed the entire investigation. December 21, 2010. Winter solstice. A woman walked into Georgetown University Hospital's emergency room. She was approximately 23 years old, wearing clothes that had been reported stolen from a nearby store 3 hours earlier. She had no ID, didn't know her name, but her face, the security guard recognized her immediately. It was Jessica Chen. DNA confirmed it. Fingerprints matched, but Jessica had no memory of being Jessica. She spoke fluent Mandarin, which Jessica had never studied. She could perform complex surgical procedures, despite never attending medical school. When shown photos of her family, she had no recognition. When shown photos of the bunker, she collapsed, screaming in the unknown language from the YouTube video. Brain scans showed something unprecedented. Her neural pathways had been restructured, entire regions had been rewired. The hippocampus, responsible for memory formation, showed scarring consistent with repeated electrical stimulation. Someone had performed experimental neurosurgery on her, so advanced that current medicine couldn't explain it. January 2011. The others return. Over 6 weeks, the other 4 girls appeared in similar circumstances. Ashley in Los Angeles, speaking Russian, working complex equations in theoretical physics. Megan in Chicago, speaking Arabic, demonstrating knowledge of classified weapon systems. Nicole in Boston, speaking Japanese, performing chemical synthesis that shouldn't be possible. Sam in Miami, speaking Portuguese, showing Olympic-level abilities in sports she'd never played. None remembered the missing years. All showed the same brain modifications. All had surgical scars in identical locations. All had been pregnant at some point, though none remembered it, and no children were ever found. But here's the fourth revelation that horrified everyone. The women weren't just modified, they were improved. IQ tests showed genius-level intelligence across all subjects. Physical examinations revealed enhanced strength, speed, reflexes. Their bodies healed faster than normal. They aged slower than they should. Whatever had been done to them had transformed them into something beyond standard human capabilities. The FBI brought in experts from every field: neuroscientists, geneticists, psychiatric specialists. The consensus was terrifying. Someone had successfully conducted human enhancement experiments that the government had tried and failed to achieve for decades. The technology required was at least 20 years ahead of current science. During a hypnotherapy session, Megan suddenly spoke in her own voice, not the formal tone she'd used since returning. They said we were the bridge generation. the ones who would prove it could be done. They said our children would be the first true posthumans. When asked who they were, she drew a symbol, the same one found painted in the bunker, the same one that appeared in declassified MK Ultra documents, the same one that 5 women in 1988 had drawn obsessively after their return. March 2011. The investigation takes its darkest turn yet. A package arrived at FBI headquarters, no return address, containing 5 USB drives. Each held terabytes of video footage showing the missing years. The girls hadn't been kept in the bunker. They'd been moved to a facility that looked like a cross between a hospital and a university. They attended lectures, underwent surgeries, participated in experiments. But the truly disturbing part, they appeared to be willing participants, engaged, taking notes, volunteering for procedures. The woman running the facility was visible in several shots. Dr. Elizabeth Kane, who'd supposedly died in a plane crash in 1974 while fleeing prosecution for illegal human experimentation. She looked exactly the same age as in her 1974 photos. Whatever she'd discovered, she'd used it on herself first. Here's the 5th shocking development. In the videos, Dr. Kane wasn't working alone. There were dozens of staff members, all wearing masks, but body language analysis identified at least 12 as currently serving members of various intelligence agencies. The facility was being run with government knowledge, possibly government funding. The 5 girls hadn't been kidnapped. They'd been recruited for a black project so classified that even the FBI didn't know it existed. Agent Wells was pulled off the case, replaced, then her replacement was replaced. The investigation was sealed, classified beyond even top secret. The official story became that the girls had suffered a group psychotic break, wandered into the woods, and survived through luck until found in 2010. The bunker was demolished. The campground was permanently closed. But here's the final, most chilling truth. The 5 women were released to their families, but kept under constant surveillance. They tried to return to normal lives but couldn't. The knowledge in their heads, the abilities they'd gained, the memories that would suddenly surface, it was too much. Jessica completed medical school in 18 months. Ashley solved mathematical theorems that had puzzled academics for decades. Megan designed technology that defense contractors couldn't understand. Nicole created chemical compounds that shouldn't exist. Sam broke world records in sports she'd just learned. They were living proof of something that couldn't be admitted. Someone had cracked the code for human enhancement. The technology existed, had been tested, had succeeded. The 5 college girls who'd gone camping in 2008 had returned as prototypes for the next stage of human evolution. In 2015, all 5 women disappeared again. This time, they left messages, videos uploaded simultaneously to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, every platform. They stood together, looking directly at the camera, and Jessica spoke. "We remember now. We remember volunteering. We remember why. The world is about to change. Humanity is about to evolve. We were the proof of concept. Our children are the first generation. There are hundreds of us now, thousands soon. You can't stop evolution. You can't stop the future. We're not missing. We're exactly where we're supposed to be." The videos were deleted within minutes, but not before millions had seen them. The FBI denies they existed. The families refuse interviews. The campground land was sold to the military, fenced off, restricted. But every spring break, college students report the same thing. If you drive past the old entrance to Blackwater Canyon at 12:47 a.m., you can see 5 figures standing at the gate. They look like normal college girls, laughing, holding camping gear. But if you look closer, their eyes reflect light that isn't there. And if you listen carefully, they're speaking in a language that human throats shouldn't be able to produce. The case remains officially closed. Unofficially, every intelligence agency in the world is looking for Dr. Elizabeth Kane and her subjects. Because if the transformation process could be replicated, controlled, weaponized, it would change the balance of global power forever. Epilogue, present day. Recent satellite imagery shows heat signatures in the Blackwater Canyon area, underground, vast, growing. Construction that doesn't appear on any permits. The local population has reported an increase in missing persons, all college-aged women, all fitting a specific psychological profile, all returning days later with no memory of leaving. The FBI won't confirm or deny an active investigation, but agents have been stationed in the area since 2019, waiting, watching. Because if the 5 women were right, if they were just the proof of concept, then what comes next has already begun. And somewhere, in a facility that doesn't officially exist, Dr. Elizabeth Kane continues her work. Immortal, brilliant, and absolutely convinced that she's saving humanity by forcing it to evolve. The 5 college girls from Georgetown were never victims, they were volunteers in humanity's next chapter. A chapter that's being written in modified DNA and enhanced neural pathways, whether the world is ready or not.